Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Voice of Reason. I'm your host, Ryan Foltz, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about my reaction to the first night of the Republican National Convention last night, and then an article that I was reading on CNN that kind of talks about it, and I will go over my thoughts and concerns about it. First off, last night I watched most of the Republican National Convention, and I thought it was great. The speakers were great, and they really highlighted the spirit of America. And I think probably my favorite speech was Maximo Alvarez. It was a really good speech, and I really encourage anyone to go and watch it. It was a really good speech about communism and the similarities of that to what is going on with the current Democratic Party, and it's coming from someone who has firsthand account of what it does to a country and just how much it affects the people of the country. And I thought it was a really good speech that he gave. And like I said, I just thought it was a really great speech for Americans to hear, because so often you hear that Republicans don't like immigration, and that couldn't be further from the truth, because to be honest, the types of people that we want to come to America are people just like that, people who are willing to sacrifice anything for the American dream. And before anyone says, well, he came over illegally, the way that immigration works in the United States is, or maybe not just the United States, but if you're in a country and you are in fear of your life, you can seek asylum in the next closest country that is free, as far as I know the phrasing to be. So Cuba is the next closest country to Cuba would be the United States. So it's not like he came over illegally. I would assume that he applied for asylum, and obviously he got it, and then he became a citizen through that. So on to this article that I was reading on CNN Politics. It's called "The Republican Convention Just Proved the Scary Fact About the GOP," and it's by Chris Cillizza. I don't know how you pronounce that name. CNN editor-at-large. And I'm going through this article here, and he is giving his opinions about the Republican National Convention last night, and he pulls out some quotes from some of the different speakers, and he just kind of, I guess, is highlighting the language of the quotes. And just to read you a few: Trump is bodyguard of Western civilization. Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. Donald Trump is a builder, a visionary. That is from Florida Representative Matt Gaetz. Donald Trump is hands down the best president of my lifetime, and that is congressional candidate Kim Klacik. Let me do a few more here. President Trump unleashed economic might of the nation like no other president in our history, and that's congressional candidate Sean Parnell. And Donald Trump Jr. said this quote: "So if you're looking for hope, look to a man that did what the failed Obama-Biden administration could never do, and built the greatest economy our country has ever seen, and President Trump will do it again." And he is kind of highlighting that most of the speakers were pretty much heaping praise on President Trump for all the different things that he's accomplished so far. And apparently that's a really bad thing, because the Democratic National Convention had absolutely none of that. It was pretty much all Joe Biden's a great guy, And Joe Biden's a nice man, and he sat and talked to me for hours, and there's not much in the way of policy and things like that. Um, and I'm assuming that this person just thinks that the the speakers were going to get up there and bash President Trump, or I don't know why he thinks that that would happen, because that's not what happened at the Democrat National Convention. It was pretty much a bashing of the American people, and I think that that is partly why that this person has a problem with all the praise that President Trump was getting, because all the Democrats basically did was trash the country for being racist and xenophobic and whatever else. And in my personal opinion, I like to feel good about the country. I don't want people sitting here bashing me over the head because I want to be free. I don't really like being. I mean, I don't mind being told what to do, but but it's to a point now where it's just like, if you don't do what someone else says you're supposed to do, then you're a racist, you're a xenophobe, you're a bigot, whatever. And I think that when you come across like that, you're going to turn a lot of people off, especially in America, because we do enjoy our freedoms, and a vast majority of the people that live in this country are good, hardworking people, and they want to make lives better for themselves and for those people who are around them. They want everyone's life to be better, and you know, I think regardless of the circumstances, that the vast majority of Americans believe that everyone has the opportunity to make something of themselves, or to take their current situation and make it better through hard work, and that's the American dream. Um, I have heard Thomas Sowell say that equal opportunity doesn't mean equal results or equal outcomes, and that's basically saying just because everyone starts at the same spot, that doesn't always mean that their course is going to be exactly the same. They're going to finish at the same spot, because people are responsible human beings. They're responsible for their own choices, whether or not they want to admit it. And that is the spirit of America. It's, hey, if you take the personal responsibility and you work hard, then you can accomplish anything. And I think that the first night of the Republican National Convention really did well to promote that part of America, while the Democratic National Convention pretty much just went after everyone for being a racist, and you know, no one likes black people, and no one likes minorities, and everyone is just a horrible human being. And I know that people are gonna say, no, that's not what happened. That's not what they said. That's not how it came across. To me, that is how it came across to independents and to swing voters. It's like, do you want to vote for a political party that is telling you how bad you are, and how much, no matter what you do, someone is you're stepping on someone's neck, figuratively, because of whatever privilege they may think you have? Or would you want to vote for the party who says, hey, if you work hard, you can accomplish anything? And I think that is what's so scary about the Republican Party to the Democratic Party. It's like, hey, we can't have these people out here telling people that if they work hard, that they could become the president of the United States. If they work hard, they can become a millionaire, billionaire. They can be able to afford things that they never thought they could, but they have the drive and determination to do it. And I think that, as an American, I think that would make for a better country if everyone said, hey, I'm gonna work hard, and I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna try to make sure that that I'm helping other people who are around me. Um, I mean, that's what I love about America. That's how I live my life. I don't worry about what someone else has or what I don't have. It's because it's really, at the end of the day, it's really not about that. If you really want to be successful at whatever, all you have to do is just work hard. All you have to do is find out what other people who have done what you want to do are doing, and then try to mimic that as best you can, and then add your own twist, add your own whatever. But I just think that if the Democratic Party wants to be relevant again, they just need to understand that overall the American people are good people, because it is very easy to have it misconstrued, in my opinion, that they are white shaming all the, a good majority of Americans just because of the color of their skin. And I thought that we weren't allowed to do that. I thought we weren't supposed to judge someone based on the color of their skin. But it seems like that's the first thing that people want to do now, especially in the media. It's not about what you bring to the table. It's about how victimized you are, and it's about how bad your ancestors suffered 200 years ago. It's about how bad your grandparents had it when they were growing up. And it's really divisive to the country. I don't care what your opinion is. That's what's happening. That's what it is. And I just think that if we want to move forward, if we want to move past all this stuff, then we have to have people stop bringing it up every 30 seconds. Because the worst, one of the worst parts about the black community is sometimes that there is a lack of self-policing within the community, and that's why you're seeing all these riots and all this stuff happen. And it's like, instead of just waiting for the facts to come out, we just act on the immediate action of what just happened. And then, a few days later, when you get the full context, you're like, oh, maybe that's not what really happened. But by then, damage is already done, and people are not gonna they're not gonna say, oh, you know what, we got it wrong. That situation was justified. It doesn't matter. And I think we need to just calm down, just wait for all the facts to come out, and then if someone does something wrong or something they're not supposed to, regardless of the color of their skin or whatever the situation is, that we say, hey, that action of that person was unacceptable, and we don't want those kinds of actions to be portrayed in this country, because you're supposed to not judge someone based on the color of their skin, but on the content of their character. So whenever an action happens, the first thing that we need to do is look at the action in the full context, and then we need to say, based on this action, how do we feel? Because the color of the skin is irrelevant. I don't care what anyone says. It's completely irrelevant, because there's people of all colors who are in all kinds of situations. There's people who are born into rich families. There's people who are born into poor families. There's people who are born into middle class families. There's people who grew up without moms, without dads. There's people who've gone through so many things of all races, creeds, religions, whatever. At the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is what you do and the choices that you make. And I think that it all comes back to what happened at the Republican National Convention is the Republicans had a good blend of emotion and facts, and they did a very good job of laying out, hey, this is what we've done so far. This is how we've helped make your life better over the last 4 years. It was on the leadership of President Donald Trump, and we're going to strive to do that for the next 4 years if we get reelected. And I honestly don't see anything wrong with that, because I didn't expect the Democrats to get up there and bash Joe Biden over the head because of all the dumb comments that he made. You know, he said, you know, rich kids are just as well rich kids are just as well off as black kids. He said if you're not black, I mean, if you're black and you don't vote for me, you're really not black. I mean, these are things that he said, and nobody got up there and said, hey, that was wrong. Hey, he shouldn't have said that. Hey, he shouldn't have done this. But no, that's not what we get. We just get a bunch of bashing America for being racist, and then we turn around and we nominate the old white guy. I mean, I have no problem with it. If he gets elected, he gets elected. But the side that's whining and complaining about race is the same guy, the same people that keeps nominating old white people. So anyways, that's all for this video. In the next video, I will be talking about the coronavirus and masks and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned, stick around, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And remember, we've got a country to save.